So, I promised more SpongeBob lore content this year, and I've been kinda slacking, but today we're back to take a look at the Bikini Bottom jail. Hey! The Bikini Bottom jail first appears in the season 1 episode Hall Monitor, where Mrs. Puff is sent to jail at the end of the episode.
And SpongeBob?
Yes, Mrs. Puff?
I'd like to see you after class. 6 months from now.
But in season 2, we get the first look at the actual building as SpongeBob visits Mrs. Puff, who's again in jail at the end of No Free Rides.
You're the only teacher for this student. And besides, the warden says she'll let you go early if you do her a favor.
What's that?
Free driving lessons! Ah! Ah!
Now, moving on to season 3, we got Doing Time, which is gonna tell us a lot, since it's an episode that almost entirely takes place in the jail.
It'll straighten you out! This'll fix you! Now let's get that one!
Barnacles, did you see that?
Yeah, that guy had no front license plate, let's get him!
After SpongeBob has gone on a full terrorist drive, destroying like half of a Bikini Bottom, Mrs. Puff, yet again, goes to jail.
But I don't belong here. It's all a big mistake. Yeah, I don't belong here either. Me too. I'm innocent. I belong here.
So back in Hall Monitor, we didn't see anything in the cell, just a bench behind Puff, but here we get a good view of her cell.
Okay, you can do this, Puff. You can get through this without losing your sanity. Oh, that's a road we don't want to go down again.
She has a different cell now, since it got more bars and obviously a lot more inside the actual cell. We got a bed, a toilet, a sink with like a mirror over it, and a window.
No more SpongeBob, no more insurance payments, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob, no more SpongeBob!
We also get another view of the exterior, now at night, and it's looking pretty similar to last season, although it looks to have been like mirrored, so now the chain is on the other side. In this little montage of Puff being happy in jail, we see some of the chores that the inmates do. In this room they, I guess, print stuff, like I don't know what these cards are supposed to be. Then you can work out outside and also work outside.
Put your back in it, girls!
Look, Patrick, there she is!
Next, we see a better look at the yard when SpongeBob and Patrick break in here as rocks. Not really a lot to see, there's just like a lot of rocks.
Guess it's time for you to go on kitchen duty.
Yes! It must be the heat, yes.
Darn it! Okay, Patrick, let's get out of here. No way! There goes our deposit on these costumes.
But next we get a new room with the cafeteria where Mrs. Puff is working and serving soup.
There you are.
Hey there, Puff Mama. What's today's grub?
Hi, Donna. It's chilly, same as always. Let me get you some.
Mrs. Puff, it's me, SpongeBob.
This place is pretty big. Got like 4 pretty long tables and some very interesting looking windows. Like, how are you supposed to look out of that? That could mean that there are higher floors on, like, whatever rooms. What the fuck am I saying? That I have no idea. I completely lost the plot. The windows being higher could mean that there are floors that are higher, and on these floors there are other rooms that like have the view out of the window, because otherwise there's no way to see out. Like, you know, cells stacked on each other, so the 2 windows that we see here are from 2 different cells on different floors, After all, the ceiling is pretty high in the cafeteria, so it's possible.
For the last time, no! I'm not going with you! That's final! Oh.
Talking to inanimate objects again, huh, Puff? Get back to your cell.
There is also a kitchen behind this door that we sadly don't get to look at least not yet.
Solitary confinement!
Oh, well, let's look at the positives again. I'm finally away from those two. Yes, all alone in my nice, soft room.
Made of sponge.
We can't really use this episode for more lore, since Mrs. Puff has gone completely crazy at this point, and like right after this gets stuck in a time loop, so I doubt that this SpongeBob room is actually in the jail. It's like 99% a figment of her imagination, I think. In the season 4 episode, Driven to Tears, for once it's SpongeBob who goes to jail for a bit.
Oh, what the heck? 90 days!
One debt to society later.
SpongeBob's cell looks to be in a different part of the jail than Puff, since the wall looks completely different. His cell looks kinda empty as well, but we can't see the corners, so he probably got the same stuff in here that she had. Next in line to go to jail is Squidward in the season 5 episode Good Ol' What's His Name.
Only 364 days and 9 years left until I exchange this concrete tomb.
This cell is actually pretty different to Puff's cell in doing time. Squidward got a bench in here and even an almanac. I think that's what it's called.
Oh well, at least I'll have some peace and quiet for the next 10 years.
Hey Squidward! Are cheesy? He got bunk beds as well instead of Puff's single bed, which makes sense since this is a double cell holding both Squidward and Patrick. This cell looks bigger as well, so I'm gonna go with the jail having different sized cells, depending on how many prisoners they're supposed to hold. Moving forward to season 6, we have Krabby Road, where we get probably the coolest portrayal of the jail.
And this is the maximum security level. Since this is your first day, I'll let you peek at our #1 inmate.
Nah, these guys got it bad. Look how small the cells are. Here I can actually see the corners, like, how can they even move?
He's too dangerous to let him around the other inmates.
Why, what'd he do, rob a bank?
Worse, he tried to steal the Krabby Patty formula.
Oh, okay.
This place is huge. The solitary cell is in some type of Death Star area with just a bridge and walls and nothing else. Wonder how far it is to the ground, like if you fall off.
So that's why we keep him behind these impenetrable 6-inch steel doors. Of course, it helps to lock it. He's gone! He's so small he could be anywhere!
The cell just kind of looks like the Doing Time cell, but we get a different one at the end of the episode.
Oh no, you're not. We've got a special cell for you.
But I liked my old cell!
Then you're gonna love this one.
There's no time to waste, Plankton. We've only got 22 years to practice before our next gig.
He still has more place in there than the guys at the beginning of the episode. Next is Shuffleboarding in the same season, where SpongeBob and Patrick just throw a bunch of people in here.
Let's take him to the slammer.
Patrick! Don't you think that's too harsh?
Too harsh? Explain.
Very empty cells. No beds or bunks, just a bench. This episode don't end well for the jail either.
Well, our work is done here.
It's like obligatory for every SpongeBob building to blow up at least once, so it had it coming. Next we got the season 7 episode Summer Job. Mrs. Puff is in this one, so the jail has to be as well.
1 day down, 2,528 to go.
Nothing new with the exterior, it's a pretty consistent building on the outside at least. Her cell looks familiar as well with the 2 bunks we saw in good old what's-his-name.
Get up, Puff. The judge says you have to go to traffic school.
Oh, wow! A driver's education class!
This teaching room is new, and it's definitely not just an old room remade, since the floor is different than the cafeteria, which up to this point is really the only other room of this size we have seen in here, so this room gotta be like permanent. And we're about to see a whole bunch of new stuff in the next episode, which is Jailbreak in Season 9.
Bikini Bottom Prison, home of the worst of the worst. And currently of that little miscreant, Plankton.
Here the security has been upped. We got new walls that look a lot more sturdy than the old ones. And there are also guards in the guard towers for once.
All inmates to A level. Come on!
This big room with all the cells looks kind of similar to both the room from Krabby Road and the one from Shuffleboarding. The cells are higher here though, and there's a second floor above, or at least like whatever this is called, like part of a floor, a ledge or something.
Hi, Karen. Look, Plankton. Karen came to visit.
Another room already. This one is pretty big as well. It got 7 phone booth thingies and 9 tables.
Gonna eat that?
The cafeteria has also been upgraded for this episode. Now there's not just a big ass can, and instead it's a whole serving thing, line thing. I'm really struggling this video because I haven't been to American prison yet, so I don't really know what anything is called.
Okay, gang, we need to bust out of this joint!
There's also some new stuff outside, weightlifting stuff that we've seen before, but it's like more stuff, and there's some games too. And the view outside continues when the prisoners break out later.
Whoa, whoa there! Why are you two out of your cells?
Reggie thinks this hanky smells like kelp berries.
I don't quite know where they are right now. It's clearly not the front doors, as they look completely different, so maybe there's like a back door or a side door.
Please, Plankton, hold it right there!
Uh-oh.
In the same season we got the executive treatment, where Patrick goes to jail and we get a new room.
You have a visitor.
Here we see, I think, another phone room. It looks a lot smaller here, like it's a separate room he's in with only his phone, as opposed to like just these small booths, you know, so yeah, probably a different room.
No, seriously, who are you?
In The Getaway, in Season 10, we mainly just see the outside a lot, with not much new.
What are you waiting for? Step on it!
You must be the new driving instructor.
But at the end of the episode, when Sticky Fins gets caught, he locks himself into solitary confinement, which is new, except for like the SpongeBob cell, I guess.
It's not safe out there!
Lock me away forever and ever.
In Season 11, we have the episode Cave Dwelling Sponge, where after getting framed, SpongeBob goes to jail and we get the return of the phone room.
Why did you have to go not on company time, boyo?
This one looks a lot more like the original one than the one we see or saw in the executive treatment. We don't see tables here either, but I would go with this being the same room and the one from the executive treatment being a different one. On second thought, they all three look completely different, like completely, so I would say that all three are different rooms. So you have like is it called call centers? No, that's something else. But the phone rooms are probably 3 different ones in 3 different parts of the prison, is what I would go with.
Squeaky, 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 squeaky! Local scientists now believe that the rampaging fry cook is actually a prehistoric cave sponge, once thought to be extinct.
And that's about it for the jail. There's a couple more appearances, but it's just the outside and Mrs. Puff being in a cell again very shortly, and we don't see much. So yeah, y'all know I have absolutely no idea how to end videos, so